Hello, everyone. Welcome to Luxury Solo Explorer. It is solo, it is luxurious, and it is authentic. My name is Valentino. Welcome all of you to my channel, Luxury Solo Explorer. Also, special welcome to those who are watching me on my other channels, which is Fly with Passport and Luxury Junket. Today, we are going to do a very special masterclass on my parent country, that is the one and only New Zealand. So it's pure, it's 100% pure. It is New. Now, what we're going to do is just before we get into it, I just want to let you know what is the focus on today. So I'm going to be talking about the best places to visit in New Zealand, obviously, especially talk about those places or those kind of routes which actually the locals only know, and just the hidden places. And I'm also going to talk about how you can reach there easily and safely, obviously. In terms of my promise to you today, my promise is very simple. I am going to give you first-hand knowledge, only first-hand information, genuine, authentic information, which actually only a local can give you, or someone who has actually been there a number of times, only that person can give you. And the itinerary, I'm also going to be building a little bit of an itinerary for you as well today, wherein I will be talking about how you can visit the most amazing places of New Zealand, both in the North Island as well as in the South Island. So I'm going to be talking about that as well, just a little bit about that. In terms of this session, as you know, this is recorded. So, but in any case, I have opened the live Q&A. So if there are any questions, if you want to know anything, then please put them in. I'm very happy to answer those questions during this conversation and also after this conversation. I'll read all your comments. When you commented, I really like it. I do respond to all the comments. So if there's anything you want to say, anything you want to watch, anything which I've not mentioned, then please put that in the chat. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel so far, then I will request you to subscribe to the channel now. So that's basically just the starting bit, and now we're going to get into the amazing parts. So in terms of the first thing is obviously how to reach New Zealand. So as most of you would know, New Zealand is a remote country. It is located pretty much middle of nowhere. So the closest country to New Zealand is Australia, which is also about 3 hours, 3.5 hours flight, depending on which area you take the flight from in Australia. So it's pretty far from most places in the world. New Zealand, in terms of the direct flights to New Zealand, places like Singapore, Bangkok, Malaysia, of course, Australia, and the west coast of US, they have a number of direct flights to New Zealand. And the main airport in New Zealand is Auckland. So other than these places, if you want to come to New Zealand, you will probably have to you'll have to take a connecting flight. Most of the other places do not have connecting flights. Air New Zealand is very good. It is one of the best airlines in the world. So you can use Air New Zealand or a number of other airlines from the US and from Australia. Qantas, Singapore Airlines also flies to New Zealand. Malaysian Airlines flies to New Zealand. Thai Airways flies to New Zealand, and so on and so forth. So you can use either of these airlines. Now, in terms of getting into New Zealand, so it is a smooth process. Frankly, it's pretty easy, pretty comfortable, but it does require a little bit of preparation. It is not as easy as getting into one of the Southeast Asian countries, for an example. So there are some steps, which you need to take care, and you need to take care of a few things. So I'm going to be talking about those. So the first thing is the visa. So now there are two aspects to it. One is the visa waiver countries and those who require a visa. As far as the visa waiver countries are concerned, I think there are about 30 countries with which New Zealand has signed the visa waiver status. So for example, if you're from the US, from the UK, you're from Japan, you're from Singapore, you're from Malaysia, you're from Brazil, you're from Argentina, and a number of European countries. I think there's some of the countries from Middle East as well, like Qatar, for example. If you are from either of these countries, then you actually don't need a visa to come to New Zealand. And of course, Australians do not need a visa to come to New Zealand. So that's regarding the visa. If you don't come under the visa waiver category, or a country from where you have a passport which does not belong to this visa waiver category, then you must apply for a visa and be granted a visa before you can fly to New Zealand. So that's about as far as the visa is concerned. Now, the next thing, there is something called a NZeTA. So that's basically if you belong to a visa waiver country, right? So if let's say you're from US or you're from, let's say, from the UK, Even if you do not require a visa to come to New Zealand, you will still need to fill in an NZeTA, and you must be approved for that. So you can fill in like 3 days before your travel to New Zealand, but that is one very important thing. Or if you belong to a country which does not require which requires a visa to come to New Zealand, but you have already obtained your visa, then you do not need to go for an NZeTA. Also, if you are an Australian passport holder, and of course, if you are a New Zealand passport holder, you do not need an NZeTA. So that's the second thing. The third thing which a lot of people get confused is the NZTD. So that's the travel declaration for New Zealand. So irrespective of whether you need a visa or you do not need a visa, you belong to a visa waiver country, or you are a New Zealand citizen or an Australian citizen, irrespective of your country of origin or I'm sorry, country of passport, you still need an NZTD. So that has to be filled up by everyone, including New Zealand citizens. So this is very, very important. Now, one of the very important things which a lot of people may or may not know is that New Zealand is one of the countries wherein the biosecurity is extremely tight. It is actually even more tight as compared to Australia. So New Zealand biosecurity laws are very, very strict. So there are limitations and there are conditions of what you can bring and what you cannot bring into the country, especially things which relate to food, things which relate to, dirty sportswear, things which have got soil to it, any kind of animal products, whether it is raw or processed things as well. So there are a lot of conditions around that. So my advice to you is when you're going to New Zealand, and basically there are dogs at the airport, which New Zealand government employs to sniff out, if you're carrying anything which you're not supposed to carry. I'm not referring to illegal things. I'm also referring to especially the food things. So biosecurity is different, and custom side of things are different. So biosecurity is very strong in New Zealand. So please make sure that if you, first of all, try not to carry it. Everything is available in New Zealand. You can easily get it. All kinds of foods are available in New Zealand. You can get it from there. But if you must carry, then please declare it at the airport. Do not go without declaration. I think the minimum fine, if I'm not wrong, is about 400 New Zealand dollars. That's the minimum fine. And you can be fined much more than that as well. So this is one thing which you definitely need to keep in mind. It does not matter who you are, which country you belong to, what passport you hold. If you breach the law regarding any law for that matter, but especially coming to the airport and talking about biosecurity side of things, if you breach it, you will be fined. Definitely, you'll be fined unless yeah, that's basically long and short of it. Who you are, they don't care. They just want to make sure you follow the law. So that's it. So our biosecurity staff, they do an amazing job. So hats off to them. So they keep New Zealand safe, they keep New Zealand clean. So we want to keep it like that. So please make sure you follow the law, especially around the biosecurity side of things. Now, next thing is in terms of when you arrive into the country. And then the next thing is a number of Asian countries I've spoken about in my previous videos. You can actually get some kind of a VIP access or some kind of a VIP entry. In New Zealand, there is no such process of getting into a VIP lane as such, right? There's nothing of that sort. The only thing what you can, I mean, the process itself is it's very smooth. You don't have such long queues in New Zealand. What you can do is that if you hold a passport from one of the designated countries and you do not have a criminal conviction, then you can definitely make use of the self-serve counters. There are immigration counters. Basically, you scan your passport and you can just breeze through. So it is pretty quick and pretty efficient process. So if you do have a passport which is an e-passport and you belong to a designated country, then I'd suggest that definitely make use of that. It will save a hell lot of your time. In terms of going from the airport, the taxi is often the most, I would say, the easiest and the safest option. New Zealand, as such, is one of the most safest country in the world. It is consistently ranked as one of the safest countries, definitely in the top three, 100%. Sometimes it is being ranked as the safest country in the world as well. So you don't have too many issues with regard to safety. But yeah, just sharing that with you, just so that we are clear. So that was about from a logistics point of view. So now what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to first talk about North Island. So as you would know, New Zealand has got two main islands, the North Island and the South Island. Auckland, which is the biggest city of New Zealand, that is basically I would say, the gateway to the world for New Zealand. So most of the people they when they come from overseas, they actually come to Auckland first, and from Auckland they take domestic flights, whether they want to go to Christchurch or they want to go to let's say to Wellington, or they want to go to Queenstown, and so on and so forth. Having said so, all these cities which I've mentioned, whether it's Christchurch or Queenstown or Wellington, all these cities have international airports. You can come directly over there as well, and a lot of people do that as well, especially for Queenstown and Christchurch. A lot of people do that. Wellington is, of course, the capital. It's also based in North Island. So in North Island, you've got main cities would be you would have Auckland and you have Wellington. In South Island, main cities would be you would have Christchurch, which is the biggest city, and then you would have Queenstown. And there are a number of small towns as well in both like both islands. Now, in terms of coming to when you come to Auckland, so what are the things like what are the things you can do in Auckland? So in Auckland, near Auckland, there is a small island. It's called the Waiheke Island, and Waiheke Island is famous for wines. So you can actually take a day tour. So you can take a ferry from Auckland, and it takes about 2 hours, if I'm not wrong, from Auckland to reach Waiheke Island, and it's very beautiful. You can get a private wine tour over there. You can see the wine being made, and you can experience, the culture over there. You can see how it is made. You can enjoy the beaches. There's a lot of food, and the air is very fresh, so you can enjoy all of that, and you can enjoy the unique Kiwi hospitality over there. Within Auckland, one of the must-dos is definitely the Sky Tower, which everyone does. So it's the highest tower in the Southern Hemisphere. It's very high, and it's got panoramic views of around Auckland. So you can get a 360-degree view of Auckland. On a clear day, I think you can see, if you use binoculars, I think you can see up to about 70 kilometers from where you are looking at. So it's very like a massive view of the sea and of course, view of Auckland, but you can also get very like really really far views you can get on a clear day. So definitely must recommend it. Also, if you are fond of adventure, the Sky Tower, it's actually got a bungee jump inside the Sky Tower. So if you're fond of that, you can use that. There are a number of other entertainment opportunities also within the tower, which you can use. There are hotels also within it. There are restaurants in it. There is a casino inside it. So you can make use of depending on what you like. And then because it is based in the city center itself, so everything is nearby you. So you can make use of that. So these would be some of the things which you can do as far as Auckland itself is concerned. And Auckland is famous for a number of beaches. So some of the world's most famous beaches are located in Auckland or nearby Auckland. So places or beaches like Piha, for example, that's very nice beach. It's not very far from. It's actually within Auckland, but it's a little bit on the outer sides, on the western sides of Auckland. So you can go over there as well. There are black sand beaches. This beach wherein some of the movies have been shot. So there are some amazing beaches. So you can go for those beaches as well. Then the other thing what you can do, if we come on to now the wider North Island side of things. So North Island, as I've mentioned earlier, Auckland is located in North Island. So what are the things which you can do around Auckland, which are not very far from Auckland? You can take the car and you can hire a car and you can go on that. So what are some of the things which you can do? So some of the things which immediately come to my mind is, first is you can go to Rotorua. So Rotorua is basically, it's for the Maoris. So it's you've got the geothermal pools over there. You've got the geysers over there. A lot of hot water geysers are there, and it's famous for the Maori culture. So if you want to experience the authentic Maori culture from New Zealand, then you can go to Rotorua. The famous, there are a lot of cosmetic products which are made from the famous mud from New Zealand. They are available over there. You can buy them from there as well. They're really good for the skin. Then other place which you can go nearby Auckland is Lake Taupo. Lake Taupo is basically, it's a very big lake. It's famous for water sports. So you can go to Lake Taupo and you can enjoy water sports if you're fond of that. You can enjoy that in Lake Taupo. Other thing what you can do is that there is a place called Waitomo, which is also near Auckland. You can go. You can actually do a day tour for Waitomo, and the next one, which is Hobbiton. You can actually do both of them together. So in fact, you can do them if you go early in the morning. You possibly can do them in the same day, depending on how soon you get. Like if you've already booked and you have a ticket for both the places. Waitomo won't take too much of time, but actually Hobbiton takes too much of time. So maybe if you are like, if you want to do it in one single day, then you have to sort of stretch it out. But if you want to do it on separate days, that's also possible. But you need to make the booking in advance for both the places. Hobbiton has a lot of walking, the Hobbiton set, the famous movie. So both of them are very close to Auckland. So if you go to Hobbiton, then where the parking spot is, from there you will have to take a bus, which is available from the Hobbiton set people. And then that bus will actually take you to the main set. And from there on, you keep walking and you go around where the area is where the Hobbiton movie was shot. So you can enjoy that. So these would be some of the things. As far as the Waitomo is concerned, Waitomo glowworm is concerned, they are caves. So you need to go deep into the basically into the earth, and then there is a little boat which takes you around that, and there is a cave in which you can find the glowworms right on top of you. So it's an amazing experience. If you're fond of something like that, you can experience that as well. So these would be some of the things which you can experience as far as North Island is concerned. Uh, in terms of, so that's basically, I've spoken about the main places. I mean, there are hundreds and thousands of places which I can possibly cover in this, in this session. There are like literally, so every place in New Zealand is beautiful. Like you talk about any place, and I've spoken about Rotorua or I've spoken about Lake Taupo, but there are so many places I can't even remember. Like they're so pretty. So the number of places where you can go. Now let's move on to the South Island. So now South Island is famous for South Island is basically famous for scenic beauty. So it's got lakes, it's got a number of lakes, and it's also got mountains. And so I'm going to be talking about that. Now the main place in South Island where most people come when they come to South Island is basically Queenstown. So Queenstown is like the adventure capital. So it's got a lot of activities, adventure related. There's bungee jumping. You can do paragliding. You can do on the lake. There are a number of water activities which you can do, and so all these things are available in Queenstown, which you can do. It's also got hundreds of, literally hundreds of restaurants. You can get any kind of food which you really love. You can enjoy that over there. It's multicultural, so everything is available. Literally, uh, I would say thousands of hotels are there in Queenstown. Hundreds of hotels are there, every standard, like right from budget standard to five-star hotels. Everything is available over there. Also got the helicopter tours. You can actually do them as well if you are fond of that. You can do that as well. There is a steam engine boat which runs in the lake, which is in Queenstown. It's called Lake Wakatipu. In that, it's called I think the name of the boat is called Earnslaw, if I'm not wrong, and that's a steam engine boat. It's like an ancient boat, so sort of a legacy boat. So people enjoy going into that. It's just like the olden time charm, and it's maintained very well. So you can enjoy that as well. Now, what are the things which you can do? Talking specifically about Queenstown, what are the things which you can do? Um, so if I talk only about Queenstown, so in Queenstown there is a skyline gondola. So there is a peak. So you take the gondola, and when you go up the gondola, you got mind-blowing views of the lake. So the lake Wakatipu, you have amazing views of that from there. There are some restaurants also on the top. You can enjoy that. And then there is luge over there, right from the top, which you can buy downstairs as well, and you can enjoy the luge if you're fond of that. So it's got food, it's got views, and it's got the luge. Those are some of the key things. And then there are some, I think there is like a showcase for birds as well. So birds of of New Zealand, there is a place for that. And then there are a number of activities around Queenstown, wherein you can do adventure sports, a number of things. I think right from paragliding to you name it, like everything basically which you can think of is available in Queenstown. It is the adventure capital of this part of the world. It's definitely an adventure capital. Also, what you can do is that you can go to a place called Glenorchy. Now if you're fond of any of the Lord of the Rings movies, then if you're a fan of those kind of movies, then all these movies have been primarily been shot in New Zealand. And then outside of Queenstown there is a place called Glenorchy, which is about 35 kilometers away, outside of something around that. It doesn't take too long. and it's got really mind-blowing views of Lake Wakatipu on your left hand side. So if you're going from Queenstown towards Glenorchy, it will come on your left hand side. So it's got like really mind-blowing views of the lake. It's very pretty. Not many people there. There are a lot of spots where you can actually stop your car legally. You're allowed to do that. It's like a rest area. You can sit, you can park your car there, and you can enjoy the view of the lake. So it's very beautiful, amazing views. Solitude, not many people there unless you're going in peak summertime. That's a different story. Other than that, if you're going in the shoulder time, no, not many people are there. So it's really amazing, and you can get those mind-blowing views. Uh, in addition to that, what you can do other than doing this, there is an onsen spa which is right outside of Queenstown. So it's about, again, it's about 30 minutes outside of Queenstown. There is the onsen spa. So if you there is a river called the Shotover River. So if you go over there, you obviously need to make a booking, but you have the hot pools over there. You get your private pools. So it's just you and your partner inside those pools, and you can enjoy like the view of the Shotover River. And especially because it is cold, so you get the hot pools, and it is really amazing and really relaxing. So you can take that depending on how long you want it. Right from 1 hour, I think they've got a number of packages depending on how long you want it. They also serve you some drinks complimentary. Food is given, some kind of snack is given, and all of that. And they've got changing rooms, and it's very clean, very well organized. So you won't be disappointed if you want to have something like that. The spa is really, really nice. Now, in terms of what would be the other things which you can do? So I've spoken about Queenstown. Now I'll talk about, South Island in general. What are the things, or what could be the itinerary, which I spoke about earlier, that I will be helping you with the itinerary. So if you want to enjoy South Island, my advice to most of the people is, or my advice to everyone would be, if you think about what are the places you want to visit, then my suggestion would be that you actually come to Christchurch first, right? And then from Christchurch, you drive towards Queenstown rather than doing the other way around. A lot of people do the other way around as well. They come to Queenstown, but they actually go to Christchurch. So, what my suggestion is, you do the other way around. You actually come to Christchurch, and from Christchurch, because from a distance perspective, it makes more sense. Like in terms of taking your breaks after X number of kilometers, it makes a lot of sense to come from Christchurch towards Queenstown. So what can you do basically? So if we talk about if you've come from Christchurch, a number of things in Christchurch itself which you can do. Uh, uh, so let's start from Christchurch. So if you started driving from Christchurch, let's say, so in the next 250 kilometers, the first thing which you will find is Lake Tekapu. So it's got there is an iconic church over there. It's called the Church of Good Shepherd. That is the name. It's an abandoned church, so it's not a real church right now, but it is very scenic. Hundreds of movies have been shot over there. Like you've seen number of, I can name Bollywood movies. I can name Hollywood movies. I can name some South Korean movies which have been shot over there. So it's very, very famous, really scenic spots. It's got daffodils near the lake. If you go in the daffodil season, you can see the daffodils. Very pretty lake. Lake is really good. Hundreds of photo opportunities. A lot of people stand there, come and take their pictures over there. A lot of weddings also happen over there, even though it is not a church, but they actually get the church priest and all of those people to come over there, and they get the wedding done. So you can actually do that as well. There is no, I mean, if you stay in Lake Tekapu, yes, you can definitely stay. But if you go towards Lake Pukaki, which is the next one, so first you go to Lake Tekapu. There are a lot of motels around Lake Tekapu, so you can stay there if you want to stay over there. But my advice would be that you start early in the morning, let's say around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. You start from Christchurch, and you drive from there towards Lake Tekapu. So you come to Lake Tekapu first, you enjoy Lake Tekapu, and from there you come to Lake Pukaki. So you drive to Lake Pukaki. Lake Pukaki has got one of the most, I would say, bluest water in New Zealand. It is mind-blowing blue. Like when I saw that for the first time, even I was amazed. In like as a kid, when I saw that, it is so beautiful, amazing, and it's got the backdrop of Mount Cook. in like in the background. So you've got the water in front of you, you've got the mountain. It's like a picture postcard kind of a thing right in front of you. Super beautiful, must do place. So as I was saying, you drove from Christchurch, you first came to Lake Tekapu. From Lake Tekapu, you come to Lake Pukaki. You spend some time over there. On the way, you will find some McDonald's or some KFCs on the way. You can get the food, or you can buy the food from Christchurch itself before you leave, and then you can get it. There are food joints in Lake Tekapu, like the town area. You do have food joints over there, but depending on what you prefer. So there are not many options over there. It's a pretty small place. There are food options, but it's very limited. So you keep that in mind. Also, other thing which you need to keep in mind, which I would be talking about later on in this video as well, is about making sure that you do have enough fuel in your car. So whenever you are in a remote area, so whenever you're starting off, please make sure that your tank is full, because there are places in New Zealand wherein for literally 150 kilometers you will not find even one single petrol pump, and that might be a challenge if you're not carrying enough fuel with you. So please remember to carry fuel with you at all times. As in, make sure I'm not saying carry in cans. What I mean is carry in the tank of the car itself. Make sure it is full. Some of us get lazy sometimes. Even I get lazy sometimes. Oh, we'll get it to the next petrol station. But what if we don't find one? So just to be on the safety side, please carry fuel with you in the tank. So that would be the next thing. Now, once you've done Lake Pukaki, then my advice to you would be that there are a number of places where you can stay. So there is a place called Twizel, which is near Lake Pukaki, and I'd advise that you can stay. It's a little town. There are a number of motels over there. You can stay over there and you can stop your journey for that particular day. So day one, you start from Christchurch and you stop you finish off your day in Twizel. So that gives you ample time to rest and take care of yourself. So that would be my advice. If you don't want to stay in Twizel, or if you don't get booking over there, so there is I'm trying to remember the place. What is it called? I think it is called Omarama. That's the name of the place. So if you can't find it in Twizel, then you stay in Omarama for sure. So that would be my suggestion for you. You won't be able to drive more than that anyway. You would have seen number of places. You've driven so much, you'd be dead tired, and you would have enjoyed so much as well. So you need to rest for the next day, because the next day is going to be even more amazing. So I would say either Twizel or Omarama at the max. That's where you break your journey. Then for next day, depending on where you start from Twizel or you start from Omarama. Again, you start at about 8 o'clock or so. And then from there is a Lake Hawaii. That's what it is called. You need to take a little detour, but believe me, it is worth it. It is super beautiful. And not many people go over there, and not many people even know about this lake even exists. Not many people. I mean, you look at Google, it'll give you a small dot because it looks like small, whereas actually when you go there, it's pretty big and looks really nice, really peaceful, and it's really, I think we as locals, we love it. I've been there a number of times and I really love that place. It's very beautiful, very calm. It can be a little bit windy though sometimes, so sort of a wind sheet is recommended if you. And that brings me to one more point which I forgot about earlier. When you are going to South Island, irrespective of what time of the year you're going there, please make sure that you carry enough warm clothing with you. Weather can change in South Island like this. You don't know. Even if you go in the peak summer, like even if you go in the January period, it can get cold. So even if you're thinking that this is January, this is peak summer, we won't need winter clothes. Please don't think like that. Weather can change over there at any point in time. So definitely carry warm clothes with you, especially if you're around the mountains or if you're going towards the Lindis Pass and those kind of areas. Weather can change at any minute. So please carry that with you. Also, if you will go towards the sea, which I will be talking about in a minute, you would definitely need the warm clothes. So definitely carry some warm clothes with you. So I've spoken about the first day's itinerary. Now coming to the second day. So you start from Omarama now. So you have seen the beautiful lakes. You've seen Lake Pukaki. You have seen Lake Tekapu. The next stop for you would be Lake Hawaii. So that's a place which is near, and it's actually near another lake, which is very beautiful and very famous. It's called Lake Wanaka. And some of you would probably know there is a one tree, it's called the one tree within the lake. So there is a single tree which is standing inside the lake, and it's a nice view. And a lot of people from around the world come to take a shot just of that particular tree, which is standing in the middle of the lake. So it's a very beautiful location. You can come over there. So, so starting from Omarama, you would go towards the Lindis Pass, and then from the Lindis Pass, you'll need to take a little detour, and you go towards Lake Hawaii. So that would be your first stop. You enjoy your stay over there. I'm sorry, as in stay, as in just your time over there. From there, you come towards Wanaka. So you come back and you enjoy the lake, and also it's a town, so you have all the food and fuel and all the other things are available over there, so you can refuel, you can have your food, you can enjoy your time at the lake. You have a nice time. It's got a very nice beach at the lake. People are very nice and friendly, everyone is very welcoming, so you will feel really good over there. So relax over there, enjoy the nature. Then from there, you have two choices. You can go to Arrowtown via, so there is a mountain road, which is the Cardova Road. You can actually take that. It will take you, it's a winding road. You will go inside the mountains. So if you're fond of the mountains, you can take that. That would be one option, especially if you're going in the winter time. But if you're going in the winter time, make sure you carry the snow chain with you, make sure you carry enough food with you, make sure you got fuel with you, you enough supplies with you, blankets with you, because it can snow on that particular, it's always snowing in winter time anyway, but you need to carry the snow chains with you at all times. And I think if you've got a rented car, or if you've taken a car, one of the requirements if you go in the winter time is that you need to compulsorily have the snow chain on the tires. If you don't have it, they won't let it. So you need to get it separately from them. Other option is, if you don't want to go via the mountainous road, there is a straight road which comes via the puzzling world. So there is a, if you're fond of puzzles, like, and maze, then you can go over there. Just a word of caution, those people who get a little bit dizzy looking at those kind of images, like someone like me, if you're like me, then that place can be little bit dizzy, like some people, because it's like those are hidden entrances, and there is maze, and you are walking and suddenly you feel you enter the wall. And so yeah, depends on whether you like it or not. So some people love it, some people don't love it. I've just been there only once. I felt dizzy, so I'm just sharing that openly with you. So that's what happens. Okay, so if you're coming, so irrespective of which way you're coming, you'll have to come to Arrowtown then, right? If you come to Arrowtown, from Arrowtown, sorry, if you come via the Puzzling World, then you can come via Cromwell. So in Cromwell, you have a lot of fruits. So it's famous for fruits. You can buy a lot of amazing fruits. It's like the fruit region of New Zealand. So there's amazing fruit available over there. You can enjoy that. There are a lot of local shops which are selling the local produce, so you can buy that from there. And from there on, you drive straight on to Queenstown, and that will be, and you can come to your motel or hotel wherever you are, and that will be the end of your second day. So you will be relaxing over there. So the first day you have completed two lakes, Lake Pukaki and Lake Tekapu. You have done that. Second day you've done Lake Hawaii. You will also come through Lindis Pass, and depending on, you might have seen Stuart Little, sorry, not Stuart Little. I'm sorry, I mean the Puzzling World. And then you would have also seen Lake Wanaka. So these are some of the things which you have done in first day and the second day. Now, the third day, of course, is Queenstown. So you have amazing things in Queenstown. I've spoken about those. You can either, if you like the bungee jumping, one of the oldest bungee jumping in the world is in Queenstown. So you can do that. That is available. If you want to go up the gondola, you have that option. If you want to just have a quiet day, you just want to stay near the lake, then you can go near the lake. You can just walk from your motel, stay near the lake. It's very peaceful, very calming. Hundreds of movies are shot over there every year. A lot of movies are shot in Queenstown. It's a picture postcard kind of a location. So you might be lucky if you go there. You never know when a movie is being shot over there. You might get to feature in that as well. 2 times I've been like I've been to Queenstown many times, but 2 times when I went there, I saw the movies being shot in front of me. So that was an amazing experience, seeing the movie being shot in front of you. So that was really good. So this is about the South Islands, and I've spoken about North Island earlier. So this completes from an itinerary point of view. This completes this. Now, the next section I will be talking about, which is around the safety side of things. And these are basically pretty generic safety things. I have spoken about New Zealand is one of the safest countries in the world. It consistently ranks between in the top three, sometimes even ranks as the safest country in the world. So normally you won't go wrong anywhere in New Zealand. There's not much of crime in New Zealand. You'll be surprised to know the normal police does not normally carry the guns. It's the armed police which actually carries the guns, because there is not so much crime in New Zealand. It is a very safe place. You won't even see the police or the army or those kind of things anywhere. Like you go to the mall, you won't have 100 people checking you, going through x-rays and all of that. Nothing of that sort you will find in New Zealand. It is very safe country, and the Kiwi hospitality is there to welcome you. So from that angle, you are safe as a tourist. So you won't really need to worry about scamming you. No one really scams. Everything is done transparently. You get a receipt for everything. It's it's highly unheard of that someone will try to scam you in New Zealand. That's, I would say, is highly unlikely, and highly, I would say, I'll extend that, like highly impossible kind of a thing, that someone would try to scam you in New Zealand. It's known for its safety. It's also known for transparency. It's one of the least corrupt countries in the world. I think it is the least corrupt country in the world, actually. So you won't need to worry about those kind of things. What you may need to worry about is basically your outdoor safety. Now, what do I mean by that? Is that when you go into the wild, basically, because there are remote areas in New Zealand, then you go prepared. Like if you're doing some backpacking, or some people like to do hiking, for example, and they want to go into the mountains. So if you want to do that, then make sure that you are very well prepared. So you check the weather, you carry, the whatever equipment you need for your hiking. If you're going to be doing some tramping, then you need your whatever book is required. You carry that. You also carry like a location beacon in case you're lost into the wild. Those kind of things. Other thing which some of you may not know, is that New Zealand is one of the few countries. I think it's only two countries in the world which do not have any snakes. There is no snake in New Zealand. So it is a very safe country. You go into the wild, you're not really worried about. There are no dangerous spiders in New Zealand. There are some spiders, but they're not really harmful to humans. So if you go out in the wild, there's no tigers or no lions or no crocodiles waiting for you, no dingoes waiting for you. So you're very safe in the wild from that angle. There are no snakes. You can put like when you go there, you will find a lot of people in New Zealand, they actually walk barefoot, because number one, there is no dirt on the ground. It is very clean. And number two, there is no worry about, you got a dangerous animal which can actually bite you or do something wrong to you. So the wildlife is very, very, very safe in New Zealand. But from a safety perspective, if you're going alone, especially if you're hiking or if you're doing anything like that, then you need to carry all the safety equipment with you just to keep yourself safe. So that would be the thing which I would mention to you. Other thing is that just normal precautions, like don't keep your valuables visible in your rented car. If it is left in the open, then yes, some people might be tempted to break into your car and take out. There are some antisocial elements in every country. New Zealand is no different. But yeah, that's common sense, that don't basically leave that valuable really visible. Other thing is, I'll tell you, I'll tell you a funny thing. If you're in the South Island, and especially if you're in the middle part of South Island, then you might encounter a very funny animal or a very funny bird. It is called the kia, and the kia is supposed to be one of the most intelligent parrots in the world. It's in the wild. So what happens is the kia basically sometimes, it will try to eat onto the tire of the car, or sometimes it will break the mirror of the car, or your not the windscreen, but um, the wipers of your car sometimes, or even the rubber on your car. So when you are taking pictures in South Island, out of Queenstown, but if you're going towards the mountains, because it is in the mountains, especially around the Lindis Pass area, and the upper area, if you're around there, then just keep an eye on the Kia. It will come and sit on your car. It is not dangerous. It is very intelligent. It can take, of course, take the food away from you and all of that, but it is not really scared of humans. So keep an eye on the Kia, okay, because it can actually spoil your car. And sometimes when you take the rented car, they actually even advise you that if you're passing through this region, then just keep an eye on the Kia. It's a very intelligent parrot. It's playful, but at the same time, it can be, lack of a better word, it can be naughty. So just take care of that. So that's another thing which you can consider. Last thing I'd like to talk about is in terms of what mistakes can be there. So the obvious things is that please don't underestimate the weather in New Zealand, as I've spoken about earlier. Please, especially if you're going to South Island, please carry the warm clothing with you at all times. You never know when you might need it. From Queenstown, if you have gone to a place called Milford Sound, which is right next to the sea, it is extremely windy over there. It is very beautiful. A lot of movies have been shot over there. I remember there's a James Bond movie, can't remember the name right now, that was also shot over there. So it's an amazing place, very, very beautiful, but it is pretty windy as well. So I'd suggest whenever you're, especially if you're going to South Island, definitely carry warm clothes with you, number one. Number two is that on your rented car, make sure, as I said earlier, make sure that you got enough fuel in the fuel tank of the car, especially if you're going towards Milford Sound, or if you're going in the hilly areas. So if you need to go to Milford Sound, there are two ways of doing that, are actually three ways of doing that. If you're staying in Queenstown, you can actually go to a place called Tianau, which is the nearest town, which is closest to Milford Sound. So you can either come and stay in Tianau, and Tianau is a cold place because it is right next to it's next to the lake, and then it's not very far from where Milford Sound is. So it gets really cold over there. That's the place, most of the people actually come and stay in Tianau, and from Tianau they take their car in the morning and they go for their cruise in Milford Sound. So they actually drive down from Tianau to Milford Sound. It takes about 2.5 hours. There is no fuel point between the two areas. So once you leave Tianau, there is no fuel. So you can't find, and there is no fuel point in Milford Sound as well. So you need to keep the tank full. You go from here to Milford Sound and you come back. You need to have enough fuel for that. And the only way to do that is by keeping the tank full. So that's what you need to do. There are some food joints on the way. And of course, if you go on the cruise, which normally most people do, they serve you food on the cruise as well. If food is included. I mean, it depends on what package you have taken, but that is available. So I've spoken about the weather. I've spoken about the what was that? I've spoken about the fuel. The other thing I like to talk about is that New Zealand is famous for cleanliness. So uh, Kiwis are famous for being the tidy Kiwis, as we say. So we are proud of that. So we like to keep it like that. So New Zealand is clean and beautiful and green. So don't litter around. There are, in some places, it's not as strict as Singapore though, but in some places there are heavy fines for littering around. So the bins everywhere. Please just look after your rubbish and put it in the bins over there. If you feel exhausted, there are a number of stops on the way. There are signs also which tell you if you feel exhausted, please stop and take rest. Just pull over and rest, and then you drive. Make sure you adhere to the speed limit. New Zealand police is always watching. They have speed cameras in the most unexpected places. They got mobile speed cameras, and you can be issued instant fines. The fines are pretty steep. If you're not a local, also, even then you can be fined and you can be issued a ticket, and they can charge that from you before you leave New Zealand. So that's possible. Some friendly notes, if you learn to say the word, let's say kia ora. So kia ora is the New Zealand way of saying hello, or the Maori way of saying hello. So if you remember that, and if you go to the shop and say kia ora to anyone, then they will feel good about it. And what else can I say? So these are some of the things which come to my mind. I've just tried to share extempore with you about whatever little knowledge I have got about my country. Happy to answer any questions which you have. Uh, but yeah, pretty much I have covered all the things, or whatever I thought were most important. I would welcome any questions, anything which you have, which comes to your mind. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those questions for you. But yeah, I would like to say thank you so much for watching this channel, for supporting me, for watching Luxury Solo Explorer. and also my other channels. If you have not subscribed so far, then I'll request you, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to see you in the next video. The next video next week, the live which I'm going to do, this is about one of my very favorite places. It's called the amazing Bali. So I'm going to be doing a video on Bali next week at the same time. So I leave the chat open now. Love to answer any questions which you may have. But thank you so much, and bye for now.